Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. When we talk about the NFL and the NFC North, there's always a buzz around the Lions, especially after a season like the one they're having now. With a record of 5-2, the Detroit Lions have managed to carve out a solid position in the division. But now, rumor has it that something truly game-changing might be on the horizon. And no, it's not just idle speculation. There's real talk among insiders and analysts that the Lions are close to making a move that could reshape their defensive secondary for years to come. And that move? It involves none other than Patrick Surtain, the standout cornerback from the Denver Broncos. The whispers are that Detroit might be looking to acquire Surtain in a trade, potentially swapping their first-round pick in the 2026 draft for one of the most talented, consistent shutdown corners in the league right now. Now, why would Detroit be so eager to make this move? Well, the Lions have been impressively competitive this season, but if you look a bit more closely at their secondary, you notice some vulnerabilities, especially against top-tier receivers. Their pass defense ranks 19th, allowing around 228 yards per game. That's not terrible, but in today's NFL, that's a number that can be exploited, especially when facing teams with star wideouts like Justin Jefferson of the Vikings, who has been a nightmare for defenses with over 812 yards and 7 touchdowns so far this season. The Lions are aware that to push further into the playoffs and contend for a deep run, they need to elevate their secondary, and Surtain's addition would be a game-changer. Patrick Surtain, drafted 9th overall in 2021, has been nothing short of spectacular over the past few seasons. He's been recognized as an All-Pro from 2022 through 2024, accumulating 18 interceptions and 58 pass deflections, numbers that speak volumes about his ability to shut down top receivers. In 2025, he's maintained his elite form with 6 interceptions, 22 pass deflections, and a completion allowed rate of just 43%. His EPA per target is at an impressive -0.33, placing him among the top cornerbacks in the league. What makes Surtain so valuable is his ability to cover man-to-man, especially on the outside, which is exactly what Detroit needs to neutralize elite receivers like Jefferson. His PFF coverage grade hovers around 93.1, and he's been durable with no injuries this season and over 96% of snaps played. And just to give you a sense of his impact, in 2023 with the Dolphins, he was able to generate plus 16 turnovers, a number that shows his knack for making game-changing plays. The projections for Surtain in the upcoming years are even more promising. Experts expect him to reach at least 8 interceptions in a given season, and given his track record, that's well within reach. His ability to be a true lockdown corner, combined with his experience and consistency, makes him a perfect fit for a team like Detroit that's looking to solidify its defense for a potential Super Bowl push. On the other side of the coin, the Denver Broncos are in a different situation. They're currently 3-4, and their secondary has struggled, ranking 22nd in the league, allowing around 224 yards per game through the air. They're in a bit of a rebuild mode, with some financial flexibility and cap space, about $25 million, and they're prioritizing that rebuild with a focus on young players. They've been trying to develop their offensive line, especially with mainers, and are also looking to manage their cap more efficiently, particularly after recent moves that freed up around $21 million in cap space for defensive line upgrades. The Broncos are not exactly in a position to contend this year, and their focus on rebuilding, coupled with their skepticism about their coverage unit's ability to stop elite passing attacks, makes the idea of trading away Surtain more plausible. And let's not forget, the Broncos are also trying to gauge their future with their current roster, and trading Surtain could be part of a broader strategy to acquire draft capital, like that first-round pick in 2026, to help them rebuild around their young quarterback, Nix. Nix's development has been a roller coaster, with a completion rate of around 57%, which indicates room for improvement, and the Broncos are clearly in a phase where they're weighing their options and looking ahead to the draft and free agency. Now, for the Lions, the potential acquisition of Certain is not just about bolstering their secondary. It's about adding a piece that can elevate their entire defense. With Certain, Detroit would gain a true shutdown corner, someone capable of manning top receivers like Jefferson, or even helping to contain other key playmakers. His presence would allow the Lions to be more aggressive up front, knowing they have someone reliable on the outside to cover. This could translate into more blitzes, more pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and ultimately more turnovers, something the Lions are already good at but could be even better with a player of Certain's caliber. And speaking of the Lions' defense, it's worth noting how they've been improving overall this season. A big part of their success has come from their aggressive pass rush led by Aiden Hutchinson, who's been a force with plus 18% pressure rate and the ability to generate sacks and disrupt plays. But with a reliable corner like Certain, who can handle the top receivers, the Lions could become even more formidable. Imagine a defense where Hutchinson gets the freedom to blitz more often, knowing that Certain can handle the coverage on the outside. That kind of synergy could turn Detroit into a nightmare for offenses, especially in late-game situations. Now, what about the odds? Well, the betting markets are already reacting to the rumors. Certain's odds of making a significant impact in the playoffs have jumped from +6, 0 to +2, 200, which shows that many see him as a potential X-factor, someone who could swing games and perhaps even be a difference-maker in the postseason. You might remember how Richard Sherman made a similar impact in the 2013 Seahawks, helping them win the Super Bowl with his lockdown coverage. Certain has that kind of talent, elite, consistent, and capable of changing the course of a game with a single play. But beyond just immediate impact, this move could be viewed as a strategic pivot for the Lions, solidifying their secondary for the long term, helping them build a true contender for years to come. A player like Certain, with his experience and talent, can be the cornerstone of a defense that aims to dominate the NFC and make a deep playoff run. And in the context of their current roster, adding someone with his profile would be a statement. The Lions are serious about their Super Bowl ambitions, and they're willing to go all in on defense to get there. So, in summary, this potential trade is not just a speculative rumor. It's a strategic move that could redefine the NFC North landscape. The Lions, with their strong offense and improving defense, could push even further with Certain's addition. Meanwhile, the Broncos look to be in a different phase, rebuilding and stacking draft assets, making a move like this plausible before the November 4th deadline. It's an exciting time for Lions fans, because if this deal goes through, it's not just a roster upgrade. It's a statement that Detroit is serious about contending at the highest level, about challenging the best in the league and aiming for Super Bowl glory. And of course, fans are already dreaming about the possibilities, the plays, and the championships that could come with such a bold move. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe acquiring Patrick Certain is the missing piece that takes Detroit over the top? Or do you think the Lions should focus on their current roster and build through the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this, whether they materialize or not, it's clear that Detroit is aiming for nothing less than the Super Bowl. Thanks for being with us, and as always, keep the faith, Lions fans. The best is yet to come.